Alright, let's look at some homework problems tonight. Alright, today we did this one in class when we talked about, I'm trying to find here, how many times greater is this number, 1.56 times 10 to the 12th power, than 3.12 times 10 to the 10th power. Now remember we talked about earlier, the reason I know this number is bigger is because my exponent is bigger. Okay, if they were the same exponent, then I would have to look at my coefficients. But right now, I want to know exactly how much bigger. Okay, remember these two words right here tell me something that I need to know that kind of helps me set up my problem. Remember, that tells me that this is a division problem. I'm going to be doing some dividing. Okay, all right. So if I was to set this up, remember this is going to be my first number. It's going to be this number divided by this number in scientific notation. So if I was to set this up, 1.56 times 10 to the 12th power divided by 3.12 times 10 to the 10th power. Now I know some of you have a calculator at home, and that's fine. You can go ahead and put it in, but please make sure that you can do this without your calculator. So remember, this goes back to our exponent rules from last week. I'm just going to help you set this up. I'm not going to solve it for you. But remember, this is my numerator, the first number. This is my denominator coefficient. Okay, so if we were to set this up, this number goes inside the division symbol. This number stays outside. Please remember what we do here. Remember, we have two numbers on the outside. We got to move that decimal, so we got to move it here. Okay. Now, before you get started, please make sure you look here. Remember, this number is smaller than this number, so we're probably going to have to adjust our coefficient at the end. Okay, so just remember, if you're adjusting your coefficient, your decimal, to fix your coefficient to where it's greater than or equal to 1 but less than 10, remember, if you move it to the right, you have to subtract 1 from your exponent. Okay, if you move it left to adjust, you have to add 1 to your exponent. Okay, all right, so what you can do with that one. All right, look at number 2. We got a kind of a combination here. We got a division problem, and then we're going to multiply. So remember, as we're doing this, you're going to have to subtract your exponents because my bases are the same, and then you're going to multiply. Well, when you get through with that, you might have to choose one, but here's the key, or more. All right, so just remember, we're going to subtract here, and then when you get that answer, you're going to multiply, then you're going to have to add. All right, so just take your time with that one. All right, we're looking for this number up top. This goes back to our angle pairs. So just kind of help you out. Remember, we'll start out, I'll help you with the first couple. Remember, if this is 43, this angle next to it, it shares a side, and it shares a vertex, and it makes a straight line. So this angle and this angle should equal 180 degrees because those are supplementary. So to find that angle, we're going to subtract 43 from 180, should give us 137. So this angle is 137 degrees. And then you can work. But remember, all right, let's come over here first. All right, so let's try this side. So I can find out this angle is 97 degrees. And I can find this angle using the same concept, knowing that they share a side and a vertex. One is acute, one is obtuse. So we know that was also going to be supplementary. So we can sit right here and we can subtract. Okay, so if I do that one, hopefully you're going to get 83. 10 minus 7 is 3. 18, 17 minus 9 is 8. So good, so that was 83. Alright, and then when you finish, remember we talked about this several times. Here is my triangle. Remember, triangles have to measure 180 degrees. All three measurements have to add up to be 180 degrees. So just remember that as you find that part. Which one describes this? Okay, these are the ones we've been working on in class. You guys take your time with these problems. Look at what I've got. First off, I have an obtuse angle and an obtuse angle, so we know it can't be supplementary. So we've got to kind of look, what do we have here? We're in the same place, hint hint, at different intersections. Okay, we have matching corners, but the key is they're on the same side of the transversal, so they can't be alternate anything. So make sure you kind of go back and look at that graphic organizer. So we know it's not alternate exterior angles, so we know it's not that. Number one, because one's on the outside, one's on the inside. We know it's not alternate interior angles, same concept. We know they're not vertical, okay? because they are at different intersections and they're not diagonal to each other. So that leaves us with either this one, supplementary, or corresponding. Okay, so make sure you can remember which one is which and set it up. Remember, you're going to find the value of x and then find each angle measurement by substituting it back in. This kind of help you out with this. I'll help you. I don't mind going a little further with this one. If you look, both of these are supplementary. So I'm sorry, excuse me. Both of these are angles. I'm sorry, excuse me. Obtuse angles. So they can't be supplementary. So we know the answer is corresponding. I'm gonna help you set it up and let you solve it. Okay, so they're corresponding angles. Same place, two different intersections. Well, corresponding angles are congruent, which means they are equal to each other. So when you set this up, remember, angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Now just do a little maneuver, moving around and solve it for x. Okay, but remember, when you finish, you got to plug it back in right here and right here to get my two angle measurements. And if we do it right, they should be the same exact measurement. Okay, let's look at the back side. All right, here we go. We're just going to change this number in standard notation, scientific, into standard. Remember, when I'm doing that, all I'm doing is looking here. That tells me which direction and how many places to move my decimal. So if this is -4, just move your decimal left 4 places. Okay? Now this one's the same thing, but look at this one. Now it's positive, so I'm going to move my decimal to the right 4 places. Alright, y'all again, excuse my pencil, my pen, remember it's not working too well. Alright, we have a cube, has volume. Remember, volume is length times width times height. Alright, so what I'm looking for here really is what is the cube root of 343. Remember, this is my volume, so we're looking for the cube root of the volume will give me my side length. Alright, you guys are doing real well with that one and for this one. Okay, here's your carpet. We have carpet for our room, so think about this one. Here's my carpet. If each wall measures 15 feet, right, what's the area? That's what I'm looking for. Remember, area equals the side squared, or side times side. So there you go. Alright, you guys are doing real. You guys did awesome with those two. So let's keep going down here. Alright, remember here, I'm multiplying. Here are my bases. So if I'm multiplying, remember, you're adding same base exponents. So if your exponents have the same base, just add them. Be careful of the negatives. Alright. Uh-oh, here we go. 90 degrees, remember, switch and fix. Remember, the words jump in your head. What quadrant am I in? Which quadrant am I going to? And these 11, 12, and 13, remember, when you're doing these problems, when you see the radical sign, remember, give me, you think what we talked about in class, if you see the radical sign, only give me the positive answer. Don't give me the both answers. If you don't see the radical sign, then you have to give me both the positive and the negative answer. Okay? Alright, look here, watch these. Okay, this one is, we got to do something here, and then here, remember, we're doing same bases, we're multiplying, so that tells you to do what? It tells you to add your exponents. Okay, make sure when you finish, everything is where it needs to be, and we'll go over these tomorrow in class. But I kind of give you a few hints. Some of them I did a little too much for you, but I don't mind helping if you're watching the videos. Okay, see you tomorrow.